So okay, so we've dealt with multiple abuse cases like this though. So you've done the work.
Hmm.
When in meeting those other people that you saw that were family members that violated you, same thing. You were able to avoid them, see them, avoid them.
I was able to see them quite a bit. Two people. So two people. One I never saw again after this person was approached. I don't even know what happened to him. He might be gone. But anyway, he buried somewhere. But
Don't bury him. Whoops.
never saw him again. He was definitely approached, with it. And
How old were you with this
I
person?
was probably in my maybe 15, probably
He
about
knew
probably about
exactly
probably
what
about
he was.
14 to
Yeah, he
15.
knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you knew what was happening at that point at
Um,
15.
so as far as like seeing the people, so seeing the people at that time, this person up in age, the other person, I was probably like a little younger. Um, as a matter of fact, I know I was. So let me take that back. Maybe not 15, 16. I was probably more so of like 12, 13. So 12, 13, another situation happened. I told my mom, and this person was approached as well. Never seen him again. So two people in my life that has attempted to do, um, something I never seen him again.
They kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth. So by the time you're 12, 13, you're able to give voice. So you were able to tell those times it was just the 5 to 6 year age.
I was able to tell. I was able to tell those two. 5 or 6, it happened. So after the 5 or 6, it happened again. Maybe when I was 8, 9, um, about 8 or 9 years old, and I wasn't able to give voice to that because it was still early. And then you have to realize that that was a transition period in my life coming from Tennessee to now Indiana.
Right, right.
Hmm.
So that's a lot of trauma. Uh, 4 to 5 different times. And then, like you said, of course, you're starting to wonder: is there something wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Am
Yeah,
I, and I'm sure you said you were tiny, you were little, so you weren't wearing inappropriate clothes because, and that's not even an excuse for
it's not.
for
It's
for you
not.
to mess with a child, a teenager, whatever she got on. She was asking for you a lie,
Right.
but that's neither here nor there because that you'll see another side of me. But with what you're talking about, you were smaller, so that's just a lot for a person to have to deal with, and it will make you wonder or question. Even if uh, I did not experience that trauma, but just things that have happened in my life, I've asked the question, "What's wrong with me?" Me not knowing my dad until I met him, my biological father. I met when I was 18, but as a child, growing up until I met Bishop Bateman, who became a father to me. But before that, I used to always wonder what was wrong with me.
See.
Why?
Hmm.
So trauma will make you ask the questions, and it'll make you feel like there's something wrong with you.
Trauma will make you wear a badge that you didn't ask for.
Yes.
I didn't ask to wear this badge.
Yes.
And it's not a badge of honor.
No.
It's a badge of disgrace. It's a badge of
It's a
imprisonment.
badge of disgrace. Yes.
It's a badge of everything.
Yes.
But you don't know that until you begin to heal. Right. So like people are like, okay, what happened to you several times? Like, when was you gonna say something? Like I was going through a hard transition. My mom was in very abusive relationships. I mean, like I went through a lot. You know, I wasn't able to see my father for some years. It was just a lot. It was a lot going on. The neighborhood that we lived in, we moved, out of a house again, to where my grandmother ends up raising two other families at the same time. So to let you know that the house was huge, to
Yes.
some projects.
Yes.
And then of course, so you know what happens in low income
Yes.
apartments and neighborhoods.
Yes.
It was very violent. And so
I know we
we
stayed in the projects
yeah,
too.
so we
My
experienced
grandmother.
a lot. And it was like just back to back to where I didn't know, I didn't know what I could say. I didn't know what to say. So I did what other people have done, in their past. And, I started like camouflaging it with other things. And so I used to dance. And so I started getting into groups. I was an athlete. So I started, you know, uh, becoming, doing things with sports. I started like hanging out a lot with my friends, and like I was just doing different things to
To try to
try to
heal.
keep, yeah,
Yeah, to try to,
absolutely.
yeah. Try.
But one of the things that I do want to point out is that I used to suck my thumb,
Okay.
and I had this blanket.
Okay.
They used to call me Linus off of Charles Brown. And I used
Charlie
to,
Brown.
yeah, Charlie Brown.
Who is Charles Brown?
Yeah, who is he? That's his real name. That's his real name. That was his daddy.
Truly.
And yeah, look, Charlie.
Linus? Wow.
Right. But and my
It was comforting though.
it was so
because
but my mother and I used to play with Cabbage Patch dolls and everything like like 14, 15. Like my mother never even questioned like
why is she still carrying this cabbage?
like why is she
But those were ways that you used to cover up what you had, not to cover up, but
it
I
was
was
a
like to comfort,
it was
protection.
it was
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
protection.
Protection.
It was this blanket was what I used to protect me.
Yeah. So
My
you can't see
thumb
me.
was soothing,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
This Cabbage Patch or this doll was somebody that I could protect because nobody protected me.
That's deep. You've been doing you she been saying some deep stuff today. So okay, so now that we are you had your own children, so that caused you that's the question that I was about to go back to. So in just all of the things that you went through before I go to that question, and all the things that you went through, and then in meeting those people or meeting that man at 30, and then mama dealing with the two people that we think are ghosts no longer. We don't know that though, but we ain't never seen them no more. They may have been in like maybe the Mississippi River. I don't know if he goes to Chattanooga. I don't know, but she never see them again. But okay, so having dealt with that, told mama, told husband, and then you began to write letters to God, and you found your healing uh, through the writing of the letters. But your children, you became more guarded with your children. Do you have all sons? Do you have any girls?
I do. I have two sons, and I did become guarded. But I told them though.
Okay.
I told them I was
You
like,
told
look,
them why you were guarded. Okay.
I did. I shared with them.
You were trying to break that tradition
I
of
was.
I'm making a point here. You were breaking that tradition of your mama telling you if somebody touches you, let me know. Instead of telling you why, if somebody touches you, let me know. Instead, you tell your children, "I'm guarded with you. If somebody does something, let me know because this happened."
Because
Yes.
ABC.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think that one of the reasons why I did tell is not a think, but one of the reasons why I did is because my as I said with my grandmother always letting people in, I have the same heart.
Okay.
So like my husband and I, we will like get children, and let them come and stay with us, and all this sort of stuff. And in particular, like I said, I had three boys that I was raising at the time. And one of the children that we allowed to come in was a girl.
Right.
And I don't put stigma on who the perpetrator is.
Yes.
It could be a male to a female. It could be a female to a male because it goes both ways.
It does.
And so I was just pretty much letting my children know, like, hey, and she was older. Not that she would do anything, but I wanted to let them know why I was having certain conversations that I was having with them.
Okay.
Or while I would say, hey, do this certain way. And then, more kept coming out in my family.
Okay.
That it was happening
was
to.
happening.
So I was like, okay, look, sons, we need to have this conversation.
Okay. As a form of protection too, because you said it kept being exposed in the family, and you going to family reunions, and you
going to family's house. I mean, like all kinds of things. Yeah.
And so they needed to be alert and aware. Watch your child. Watch your daughter.
Actually, it was a funeral where I seen the other guy when I was in my 30s.
You were at a funeral then, yeah. So it's very important. Just listening to Martha talk about her journey of what she's gone through and how you're looking at a healed version, a better version of who she is. You can't even tell that she didn't know how to use her voice, can you?
Listen, y'all. Let me tell you. But you know what? I'm glad that you said that because like I have some friends now that be like, "What, girl?" So it's the way that you use your voice,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Like um I can converse with you about pretty much anything, but then if it's something that triggers or if my brain tells me that that sounds familiar,
Hmm.
or that hurts, I go into protective mode, and then that's when I my mouth kind of closes.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like certain things I just get hush mouth about. Um, Again, as I said earlier, I related confrontation with violence, and so because I was in an abuse relationship growing up, predominantly all my life, um, I didn't know what healthy communication looked like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so if I see somebody like if someone tone, I don't care who it is, if your tone elevates to a volume,
Hmm.
that will trigger me. And I can either go either way. Either I can match you with fear and out of fear,
Yeah.
or I can shut down. Martha will shut down. Let me take that back. The 7-year-old girl will shut down
Hmm.
and will no longer allow Martha to speak.
She only wow. That just brings mm, even more light to what the logo is. There is a little child in every one of us. And so there are times certain things that I see, or like I was telling you, I've been charged by God to tell one of my stories, and it's nothing to do with loss at all. But I've been charged to tell one of my testimonies or stories. But there are some things about it that I can't, that I've never really
Mm,
like fully told anybody, and it's out of embarrassment,
yeah,
basically. But me being embarrassed about it just helped me to know that I need to
to
expose
expose it.
it.
Hmm.
It has to be exposed
Hmm.
because I really believe it's going to help somebody. But there are times because, we were in a home at one point, my mom's husband, he was abusive. And so mama was a fighter. So she didn't stay in that one long. But because of that, yelling, so certain things, and then I had been in an abusive relationship because statistics show
It does.
if you're in an abusive
Absolutely.
relationship, you will either be an abuser
Yeah.
or become abused.
Abuse. Yeah.
So it's statistics and it's
Hmm.
so real.
It
Who
is.
knew that that would be me?
It,
Okay.
and me too.
She didn't stay long, but she was
Hmm.
definitely a part of something like that. But then as I dated another guy, whenever he raised his voice, the little child or that fear caused me to shut down.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean when you say those little triggers
Hmm.
can yeah. So do you think that that means if you have those little triggers, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not healed. It just means it's a scar, right?
So for me, it is letting me know that I still feel,
Yes.
right? Um, so it's almost like I say that this is my redemption. My redemption is, so let me backtrack when I say I still feel, because I believe that my redemption is I don't remember the pain, I remembered what happened,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that's the protection. So the trigger is the protection, like, mm, I,
I
rem-
know this. Mm-hmm.
I know what that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I know what this is.
And it also helps you to identify others.
My EQ skills are on
Yes.
10
Yes.
because of the things that I have gone through.
Yes. Yes.
I'm very in tuned into my emotions.
Yes.
I have voice to my emotions, and it helps me to have conversations with people
Yes.
if I see it if I see it looking familiar.
Yes, I will too.
Mm-hmm.
I will too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all a part of our testimony or our growth. Sometimes we wonder why did God let this happen to me or why did this happen to me? I do know that we can help others escape it, especially if we see, uh, baby girl, something about him. I'm not. I see something, and a lot of some for the younger group, they just think sometimes we just too much. Let or and I know we was like that too, though. We probably like, you gonna let me grow up, you gonna let me learn. I still be wondering why you want to bump your head if I know that the top of that roof your head is too don't hit the top of the roof. Why you want to bump your head? Why?
Because I think I can clear it.
It's my job to protect you.
Right.
But I do believe that what we've gone through, we're more keen, we have more insight, and yeah, we are
Absolutely
supposed to help others overcome and not become a victim either.
That's true.
So we're at our favorite part. I won't say it's our favorite part, but it's the reason why we're here. It's called a letter to, right? Okay. So Martha, did you have time to write your letter?
I did, and
Come
it's actually over there if I can get
it.
it.
Okay, so we're gonna let her leave, and I'll be talking while she walks away to get her letter. I had another guest that wasn't prepared like this, but we're still let her walk on over, tiptoe on out. I'll cut that part out of the video.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep. And I'll start the conversation again. So, Martha, do you have your letter?
I do.
Okay, great. All right, let's hear it.
So I was actually trying to decide if I was going to write a letter to my trauma or to my abusers. And I decided trauma and not my abusers because, for one, they no longer have the power for me to continue to address them.
Okay.
And I have already forgiven them.
Wow.
What I will address is the trauma because sometimes that can continue to creep up if I am not careful. And I want others to know that trauma, healing from trauma is a journey.
Yes.
And it's not a one and done. It's a journey. So I'll go ahead and read my letter.
Yeah.
And it says, "Dear trauma, you disguised yourself in various ways, leading me to believe I wasn't worthy of love, respect, and emotional prosperity. Far too long, I allowed you to incarcerate my worth. But today, I see you clearly. I recognize the lies you whispered and the chains you placed around my heart. No longer will I let you define me. No longer will I confuse your presence with my identity. I am reclaiming my worth, my joy, and my peace. Every season you brought has taught me my resilience. Every scar you left has become my proof of survival. I am not your prisoner. I am my own liberator. From this day forward, you will no longer hold power over my mind, my relationships, or my dreams. You are a part of my story, but you are not my future. Sincerely, Mar."
Powerful and freeing, I am certain. A letter to my trauma. I love it. I love how you say it doesn't have power over you. It's a beautiful letter.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and sharing
your
story with us. I'm so grateful again for Martha coming and sharing her heart. We really hope and pray that through this episode, whatever traumas you're dealing with, whatever situations you're dealing with, that you become a healed, a better version of yourself. Absolutely. By just listening to her story and how she said letters that she wrote to God helped her to become this version of herself that you see now, that can talk about it, that she does not cry through it. Did she cry? Have days where she cried? I'm almost certain.
Absolutely.
I'm almost certain. Yeah, she just confirmed it. Absolutely. She had days where she cried a lot, where she didn't want to get out of bed. And so those days are there, but there is another side of you that's just waiting to be birthed. So don't allow your trauma, don't allow whether it's whatever losses, whatever trauma you're dealing with, deal with them. Write your letter. You may never sit on this chair or couch, but you yourself can write your letter to whatever situation you're dealing with. And we pray that you find healing in whichever way God allows you to have it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope to catch you on our next episode. And remember, take care of you.
Thank you.
All right, sis. That's it. I bet you that's a whole